Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. So for today's video is going to be for those who are really interested in being a CNA, considering being a CNA, don't really know what a CNA does or how much they get paid. If you want to know all of that and know just my knowledge, my experience basically, and what it revolves around it completely, then go ahead and keep on watching. So first of all, I do want to go ahead and disclose what a CNA is. It's a certified nursing assistant. So you can be a certified nursing assistant or a patient care tech. They're basically the same thing, except for the fact that one of them you work at a nursing home and one of them you work at a hospital. At the hospital, you're able to learn a lot more, such as like EKGs, blood. I think you can do glucose checks, but I'm not exactly sure on that. Don't quote on me on that. So that's kind of like a little bit of a difference what a CNA between a PCT is. Essentially, they're the same thing, except for that the hospital, you get to learn a lot more things, and some people may like the hospital a little bit better, some people may like the nursing home better. It really all depends on what you're comfortable with. So a CNA is basically someone that works under the supervision of a nurse. You're able to, like at the nursing home, just in general, you're able to take vital signs, you're able to give a bath, you're able to take people to the toilet, to the restroom, you're able to do bed baths, you're able to transfer patients, you're able to measure intake and output of a person. So like their urine or their stool, you're able to measure that and give that to the nurse. You're basically kind of taking care of the basic needs of an elderly person at the nursing home. At the hospital, it may be different. You can work with just an elderly population, or you can work with kids. There's really a lot of things that you can do at the hospital. The nursing home, you're taking care of the elderly pretty much. It's kind of like the basic things that you're able to do as a CNA. It really all depends on what state or city or whatever you live at. As far as the course, I know for me, I took it when I was in high school. So it was, I believe it was a total of 6 months. I would have my regular high school classes, and then I would go to college and do my CNA and go to clinicals, go to nursing homes, stuff like that. So I did that, and I didn't have to pay for it. So if you do have the opportunity, if you're still in high school, you're able to take a dual credit class, which is basically a class that you take in college, and your school basically pays for it completely. So I actually got my CNA for free, which was great. So that's pretty cool. You guys can maybe see if you guys can do that. Save you some coins right there. I just want to go ahead and tell you a little bit of my experience working as a CNA. So I live in the state of Illinois. I just want to go ahead and kind of disclose that. I don't know. So when I was working as a CNA, this was back in 2015, 2016, I believe. I worked as a CNA for 6 months, and I was at the time going to school. At the time I was going to school, going to my community college, getting all my general credits that I needed to transfer over to my major. So I was working as a CNA at a nursing home. So my first day, I got there. No, my first day by myself, because I had orientation or training for about 4 days, I believe. Which 2 of the days were in the evening shift, which is the shift that I was going to work as. And then 2 of the other days were in the morning shift, which I don't understand why we ever did that, because the morning shift and the evening shift is a lot different. So I ended up getting like half of the training that I really needed. So anyways, my training went well. You know, they tried to explain everything, blah, blah, blah. It was my first time working as a CNA, first time working as like a healthcare professional, I guess you can say. And I didn't know what questions to really ask or whatever. So my first day on my own, the CNA comes up to me and says like to go get something. I forgot what it was. in particular, like I think it was like where you can, a portable trash can or something like that, where you can put out like the linen and then the garbage, which was like I didn't know where it was. So I literally said, hey, I don't know where it's at. And this lady, she was in her 40s. She comes at me and says, wow, I can't believe they didn't train you well. Like, I should have trained you. You don't even know where this is at. She comes here with some attitude like, bruh, this is my first day, first of all. You just asked me to get something. I asked you, hey, where is it at? I can go get it really quickly for us because we both obviously need it. And she goes and gives me attitude. I'm like, dude, it's literally my first day. Chill the fuck out. Like, take a chill pill or something. So, I mean, that really all had to do with that person in particular. There's going to be people who are very patient, and there's going to be others that are completely not. One thing I can say is that if you're working as a CNA, you should really have a lot of patience and compassion towards others, because if you don't even show that to your coworkers, I don't even want to know how you show that to the people who you're taking care of, who really need your help, basically. So if you're doing it for the extra coin, don't even plan on getting that much extra coin, let me tell you that. Yeah, that was my first day, my first impression. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to be here now. Like, I really hope not everyone's like that. Like, then I felt like I couldn't really ask questions. And don't ever have anyone like make you feel like you can't ask questions, because you're there to learn, you're there to help. That's what you're there for, taking care of older people. You're already doing a service to others, and for someone to be giving you attitude about basically wanting to help is kind of insane. So don't ever let people put you down for just asking questions. You're there to learn. So when I was working as a CNA, I was working 1 to twice a week. I wasn't working all that much because I was going to school, and I was really just dedicating my time towards that. I was taking classes like anatomy, psychology, all those like kind of hard classes that you really need to put in your time's worth if you want to get a really good grade. And at the time, I could work only 1 to 2 days. I know there's just people who have to work full time and that can still get good grades, which is amazing. But I really just, if I had the opportunity to work part-time and then go to school full-time, then I was gonna go ahead and take that opportunity. Since I was working so little, I was only getting exposed to little things every now and then. So by my, I think I want to say by my 5th month, I had an incident where I had to take care of someone with a catheter, and I had never had someone with a catheter. And I'm like, okay, I kind of forgot my skills here. So I went to go ahead and ask someone, and I said, hey, how do you do this? And the guy was just like, you've been working here for quite a while, and like, you still don't know what you're doing? I'm like, yes, I have, but I'm only working 1 to 2 a week, so I don't know exactly everything like quite well. So that's one thing that like I wanna, I guess, make you guys aware of. Like, any skills that you have learned as a CNA, you want to go ahead and try to seek out those opportunities. So just so you know, like by the 1st month, how to do kind of basically everything, so then you don't know, like you're not like kind of lost when it does come and you're just like but that's just something to keep in mind of. Like, you can always ask questions. There's just people who are really honestly impatient with others, and they'll make you feel bad about not knowing how to do something. So I do kind of want to disclose what I did in a regular 3 to 11 shift of like what I would do on a regular basis. So I would come in, get a list of my patients. I would get 6 to 7, sometimes 8, and I would start off with waters. You have to do your rounds. You have to give them water. You have to do your vital signs. It's going to be a little bit different in every single site, but you kind of get the gist of what it's about. So you would get cups of waters for everyone. You would take vital signs for everyone, and you would just make sure that they're all okay. After that, you who would need a shower, typically you would get 1 to 2 showers. Ask them, hey, what time would you like your shower? That's the first thing that you want to know, just to keep in mind how you're going to go ahead and keep track of your time. So within that time, you're going to go ahead, there's going to be call lights going off, and you're going to go ahead and help them whatever they need. Then like eventually comes dinner time. I want to say dinner time comes within like 3 hours in to 2 hours in within the shift. You want to go ahead and distribute out all of the plates to the residents. Either they're gonna eat in their room or they're gonna eat in the dining room. Usually when they eat in the dining room, you're feeding them, or they just want to be with more people. So you do that, and they're eating whatever. While they're eating, you're putting in like all of your stuff on your little, it's all going to be different in every single place, but you have a little like computer, and you go to every single patient and you put in their information, such as what they ate, have they voided, have they urinated, have they moved, like all of these basic needs questions. That does take a little bit of time, so you want to go ahead and kind of like do it as you go. You're not just going to be in the computer doing it, because there's going to be call lights. Someone's going to be calling you, some other CNA is going to be needing you. There's just always something that that you're going to have to be doing, basically. Sometimes you have slow days, but most of the time, 90% of the time, you're going to be busy throughout the time that you clock in to the time you clock out. The one thing is that you really do need to have, like I said, compassion towards other people. You need to be patient towards other people, because the elderly population obviously needs help. They need someone to listen to. They need someone to talk to. And you're basically there to take care of them. You're taking care of a family's grandpa, of a family's parent. Like, it's just something to keep in mind. Because I remember when I was working there, I would see a lot of CNAs that wouldn't really care. It's just in and out, let's go. But it's like sometimes you really do have to take the time to just listen to them a little bit. They are alone sometimes. Most of the time, their families are busy. They are working, so it's kind of hard to just keep in touch with them. But just you need to have patience overall, because as they're using the restroom or whatever they need, you just need patience with them. You can't just rush them through the process. I really do strongly believe that if you don't have that, if you're not a people person, then don't consider being a CNA, because that's basically what you're doing. You're taking care of people and you're being a service to them personally, like at a personal level. So about money, right? We all want to know about that pay, about that coin. So when I'm gonna go ahead and just disclose this, because I mean it was 5 years ago. When I was a CNA, I was getting paid at 2015. First of all, let's consider that I was getting paid $14 an hour. Now at the same facility, because I know people who are still working there, now they're getting paid $16 an hour at a nursing home. So which is not that bad, to be completely honest. Which 16 is actually pretty decent. I know that there's places out there that are paying 13, 14 still at this time, which I think is ridiculous, because CNAs do a lot of work. And even at the hospital, like, they should be getting paid regularly 16, and that's it. I don't know what the pay is at the hospital. I've never worked at the hospital. Actually, no, yeah. Actually, yes, at the hospital, at least one person that I knew that worked at a hospital, I believe was getting paid around 15, and then differential and stuff like that, it came out to be like 16 to 17, I believe. So it is a pretty decent pay if you work at a hospital. But just like at the nursing homes where a lot of people work at, it's just the pay. It really all depends in the city, and what type of facility it is. If it's like to be honest, if it's a rich facility over if it's not. I know the one that I was working at, it really was like, it came from families and people that had a lot of money, would pay everything in cash. So the pay was pretty good. Even like psychiatric institutions or like facilities that pay their CNAs only $12 an hour. That's now. That's someone that had told me when a coworker said that they were getting paid 12 an hour, which is insane. Um, but yes, that's kind of like a little bit of the rundown of money wise. So I hope this kind of helps some of you. If you guys are considering being a CNA, working as a CNA while you're going to school, just working as a CNA for a career. There's pros and cons for every single job, obviously. So I just kind of wanted to share my story so you guys can kind of consider it. But anyways, if you guys did find this video helpful, go ahead and leave a like. If you guys have any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. If you guys like me, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.